Enigma long on the RTY2.
Mic check, mic check. Test 1. Test 2. Mic check, mic check. Test 1, test 2. 2, 2, 2. All right. Where are we here? We are 2 minutes. No, almost 3 minutes past the news. Got it's very loud in my ear. Just one moment here. Good morning, everybody. How's everybody doing? Give me a shout out there in the chat. Let me know where you're coming from. I'm in Texas. How about yourself? Let's go. Alrighty then. Don't forget, trading is risky and all that business. Yada yada yada. All right, let's get let me get full auto on here real quick. Arm long, arm short, full auto Enigma on. Arm long, arm short, full auto Enigma on. Long short, full auto Enigma on. Long short, full auto Enigma on. All right, across the 6 instruments there. 8.7 into the low of day. Let me zoom back out here real quick to check everything else around. Had a giant windfall positive day yesterday, so I'm coming in cautious. We'll talk a little bit about that here this morning. Here, it's selling all over the tape right now. 9:34. We still got about 40 seconds or so for me to kind of sit on hands for the first 5 minutes. And get Financial Juice launched up there for our audio news. We've reached S1 on the daily pivots here on the higher time frame. Look what we have here. We've got double ready DD. We may turn right here. I'm going to look for a potential pivot right here. Got to wait for the sellers to pop off of the tape. Look for an entry. Not necessarily a buy zone, but remember yesterday it was a giant bear in here. Do you guys remember this from yesterday? Giant bears were identified inside this area. Drew this out. Took forever all day yesterday till the end of day. They came and got their profits. End of day, massive down move. I'm a big bear at heart. Markets move faster down, move slow up. So if I get a down move, I'm maximizing that. Had a huge day yesterday, so I am windfall day cautious today. If you are wondering about my windfall day rules and how I kind of approach the markets.
Voice news short on the GC too.
Voice news disconnected. Are we still online? Mic check. Test 1. Let me know if I'm still online or did we lose connection. Hello. Test 1, test 2.
Fib.NQ on the 4.
Also, we should be real time. We've got ultra low latency. So for the next few days, y'all remind me to double check on the ultra low latency. So I have that setting. I am looking at it in my eye right here. Look at that. It is right there. We got ultra low latency now, and some of the quality might be a little bit lower from, I don't know, it might be kind of digitized. We're not 4K anymore. Again, they're processing. Basically, you have to be all the way down to 1080p. So 1080p, hopefully everything can see well, but we're going function over form here. We'd like things to look pretty, but sometimes you got to get into the nitty gritty, right? Let's see. Got a lot of things going around here. Okay, we've got, looks like a gold. Whoa, gold is on a launch there. The bot's got hold of one. It's up 600 or so on that one right now. And I'm kind of just I am relaxing into the markets here this morning for the moment. Like I said, I was super pumped to hit a huge day yesterday, but that also means that I've got this mental mindset. Just generally, this is everybody kind of has this. This is just experience being in the markets for a long time, that big days can be followed by massive lose days, and vice versa. And the vice versa component is actually harder to deal with. If you have a big red day, it is hard to come back the next day. But what I have found in my career is when I go back and I look at those days, and I did, studying them up, what happened in those days, what scenarios occurred, the following day, after a really hard day, is like, there were so many days when it was like, oh my goodness, I wish I had played the following day. Look at that cakewalk. I'm like, look at that easy, the cakeness of the day after, the hardest day ever. Why couldn't I have just put my head back in the game and gone in there and smashed that super easy day? I saw that repetitively. I made note, put it down, had to write it down. Folks, and I'm not a big journaling guy. I think journaling is quite frankly a waste of time, and that is a hot take. I get it, but it is a waste of time. You don't get good at a video game by writing stuff down. Okay, you want something? There's your write down. What did Vinny say? You do not get good at a video game by writing on paper. You understand? Now, there are some things that you will learn along the way in the game that you want to make sure you highlight in your mind, and that could be something like, let me relate it to some Fortnite for folks. Did you guys know in Fortnite, how many of you guys know in Fortnite that there are weapons that have explosive rounds? You're like, how's this apply to trading, Vinny? Trust me, hang with me. Explosive rounds. How many of you guys knew that there's explosive rounds in Fortnite?
Two-finger NQ on the 40.
Explosive rounds. Now, I didn't know they existed. I was playing Fortnite one day, minding my own business, doing my normal usual routine. Then some jacktard comes in and is doing some crazy stuff. I couldn't protect myself from these explosive rounds. He wasn't even having to hit me directly. He could hit right next to me. Like, here's me, just standing here doing my thing. I put up some little Fortnite wall, whatever. And this home dude is jumping up in the air, shooting down at an angle, missing me, hitting the ground right here. And this explosive damage is hitting me, and I'm taking damage. I'm like, what in the world is that? Had no idea. Splash damage, whatnot. And then when it actually hits you, it's even more explosive. Anyway, like, I'm like, what in the world is that? What is this explosive rounds thing? So I had to make a mental note. Now, it's stuff like that. Big time things in your trading that you might need to write down, or just, it's got to be such a thing that you're like, I got to figure out how to do that. Now, when at first, I didn't even know it was called an explosive round. When he's first hitting me with this thing, I'm like, what is going on? He's cheating, okay? He's cheating. He's cheating. What is this? What am I getting hit by? What weapon is he using? I was just like, what weapon is this? I had to go through the phase of what is it? Same thing in trading. You're going to be going, what in the world was that? You need to make note of it, search it, research it. It's going to take you time. Most people think like the best things in life don't take you any time and they're free. That's nonsense. Everything in life that's actually really good costs you something. Okay. Another hot take. Everybody's like, the best things in life are free. I dare you to please type something in the chat that the best thing in life is free. And people they've said things like, well, Vinny, you know that Jesus Christ is free, right? No. What he paid for you to have, what Jesus Christ gave to you, while it was free to you, someone else paid for. That is a huge price, the biggest sacrifice of all time. Jesus Christ dying on the cross for you. And that was not free because he paid the debt. Do you understand? He paid it. It is the best thing, and it is not free. You should appreciate it. That's my opinion on that. Well, I mean, there's some things that are just straight up facts, all right? That's just straight up fact. So, the best things in life are actually paid for, okay? The free stuff is just free, okay? Now, they can be good. But if you're going to tell me that the best things in life are free, no, they ain't. No, they ain't. They cost something. You're doing something to achieve that. Okay. All right. With that being said, you need to know what it is. So first thing, when you go through what is it? What's an explosive round? In a trading scenario, what pattern did I just see? What scenario just occurred that I need to make note of and write it down? If you think it's something that might fall off, like I'll give an example. Another really big one that I remember writing down in one of my notepads, which unlike other BSers online, like I actually have one and I actually keep it nearby. It's always around right next to me, and I actually do. If I have something important to write down, I'll write it down. But it is about making sure I'm going back, and I want something called wisdom, not knowledge. What's the difference between wisdom and knowledge? Pop quiz. Can anybody give me the difference between knowledge and wisdom real quick? Because we need to turn knowledge, I'll give you a hint, we need to turn knowledge into wisdom. Knowledge is knowing the fact that a tomato is a fruit. Some people, you come to that realization one day when you're young and you're like, what? A tomato's a fruit? It doesn't taste like a fruit? Because you're like, oh, I think of fruits as being sweet and tastes kind of like a vegetable if I were generalizing the categories, and somebody's like, well, technically it's a fruit. Okay, well, so now you know that fact. Wisdom is the application of the knowledge, knowing that just because it's a fruit, you probably should not put it in a fruit salad because that's going to ruin the fruit salad. Application of that knowledge. Knowing it, that's cool, but now you have to apply it, right? And wisdom is application. Yes, you guys nailed it. Wisdom is the execution of the knowledge. Exactly, right? So with the execution on anything, like dreams are dime a dozen. Everybody's got ideas, but where the rubber meets the road is the execution of the dream. Dreamers and planners. Planners make their dreams come true. The reason I'm saying this is you don't have to write down every little nook and cranny. Oh, today, dear diary, today, trade number 1 was fun. Trade number 2, trade number 3, stuff like that is a waste of your time. If you want to talk about trade 1, 2, and 3, go rewind, go to market replay, take trades 1, 2, and 3 again. And I don't recommend that you do them in order. It's another pro tip here today. And I'm going to do a lot of tip talking here today because, again, I had a windfall day yesterday. I don't really want to play today. There's a whole thing around that. Go check out my video around windfall days and how you proceed them when you win versus a lose fall day. A lose fall day happened to me 2 days ago, and so I wanted to really go in yesterday, and it did exactly what I was saying it was going to happen. It was much easier and was able to capitalize on that, and I did not win back everything, but I came almost half of my losings from the massive day prior to that loss. I gained almost half of that back yesterday. However, windfall days versus lose fall days, we're going to talk about that too. All right. Sorry, I lost my train of thought there somewhere. I was going to. I asked you guys about wisdom and knowledge, right? We talked about wisdom and knowledge, but talking about what you're putting into your daily planner. Oh yeah, I know what it was. I was going to go through if you wanted to write down your 3 trades that you took, or your 5, however many. When I say market replay, and I've talked to you guys about this before, but I have learned recently that the stuff that's in my videos, some people are not watching the videos. Some of you know who you are. Other people, maybe you don't know who you are. But I do need to come out here and reiterate stuff that is already in our video content. And this is one of them, okay? This should be a repeat for everyone. If you have gone through even the 8-day boot camp, you should have gotten this. But it's so important, I'm going to hit it again.
Fib.NQ on the 4. Fib.NQ on the 9.
You don't get good here. What does that mean? You coming over here and taking trade 1, trade 2, and trade 3, you don't get better at trade 1, 2, and 3 here. You don't get good if you go to market replay even and doing trade 1, 2, and 3 in order. If you want to get good, and you don't have to, by the way, some people love to suck, okay? There are people who actually wallow in and love their victimhood, and they want to claim their victim card. And you want to suck? This is not for you. This is for the winners in the room who want to win. If you want to get good, this is where you get good. You take trade number 1 and you do trade number 1 5 times. Take it once, take it twice, take it 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, boom, lock that in. Go to the next one. Trade number 2, trade number 2, trade number 2, trade number 2, trade number 2. This is where it locks in. Now, how do you do this in market replay? There is a how. Okay, in market replay, I've taught you this. If you go into our market replay trainings where we talk about this, also talk about the 10x rule. You need to combine those two, in my opinion, if you want to get good. And I'm talking about get good, and what's after good is great. What's after great is a greatest. Now, getting to greatest, I don't think you ever reach greatest. You continue to become greater. You understand? You get better. You get one step closer every single time that you come in and you execute like this. 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. Not 1, 2, 3, and then repeat. No. 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3, 3. This is how you get good. You hit market replay and you rewind market replay and you hit it again. You rewind market replay and you play it again. This is how you get good if you want to get good. Same thing in the video game that we were talking about before. And trading is a video game now. I don't care who you are. Nobody is doing what they used to do. Back in the day, you had to stand in a pit and you were doing hand signals and you're like, tap, tap on the hat, back to the back, 2, 2, 3, 3, 5, 5. That's not a skill anymore, right? It's literally a lost art, if you will. Nobody's having to scream at each other across a pit to get a buyer and a seller across a pit where they have to yell at each other and giving hand signals, right? We all know that. Everybody is now doing exactly what I'm doing right now. Sitting at a gaming desk, okay, and we're clicking buttons on the screen and we're trying to put points on the board. That, to me, that's a video game, because video games have been that since Atari 2600. Maybe before that. What was before Atari 2600? Commodore 64? I don't even think Commodore 64 was there. Earliest one that I remember from a video game perspective was Atari 2600. My dad brought in the wood grain finish on the, the Pong handle. Video games were literally two-dimensional stuff like this showed up on your screen. This is the level of graphic art that used to occur, which is why I kind of joke sometimes, like, we're in Algobox, we're playing Frogger here, okay? We're trying to get our little Frogger guy. Go out and look. If you don't guys know what Frogger game is, go Google that one, watch a video on it, okay? You'll get it. You have to get your little green froggy guy. You got to get him across the map without getting run over. And they're sending things at you this way, and they're trying to run over you, and you're trying to hop through the street, and then you get to a section where there's like this landing, and then up here, there's like a water arena that you have to get through up here, and there's logs that float by that you can jump on. You're like, oh yeah, I need to hop on that log right there. So you're trying to hop on it and then hop to the next one. But sometimes there's a alligator in there, and he doesn't look much different from the log. He's like the same size as the log, and if you jump on him, you go, right? And then you lose. Okay, we're playing Frogger, and we need to get all the way to the other side, and when you get up here, this is where you get your points. Okay, you got to get it without losing. Okay, that's the video game. Now, we have a cheat for that video game. I call it Algobox. I think it's way easier to use a system like ours where I can see algorithmic events, where I have the pivot opportunities right there drawn in real time, where I've got structure combinations, multi-time frame, multi-structure, plus real-time order flow events in real time that draw them in a way where you as a human can react by pressing a button. That's my opinion. But to get good, you're going to have to repeat. And I would rather you spend your time on repetitions than journaling. That's kind of the point of this exercise. However, there are things like coming back to the explosive rounds. The explosive rounds, once I realized there was a better way to play the game, I needed to learn what that was. Somebody eventually told me, oh, he's using the repeater rifle. Like, what is that? I didn't even know what that was. So I go, walk up to the inventory thing. I'm like, okay, let me change this out. And I'm like, first you have to decide, well, what weapon are you going to give up? Because you're like, well, you have this certain play style. Some people get locked into their play style. If you get locked into your isms of like, well, I got to have my own way and I'm going to do it my way and do, and all of a sudden you see a better way and you just ignore it, well, that's sad too, in my opinion. I would encourage you to look for and see a better way than what you're currently doing. If you're new to Algobox and you're like, well, I don't know, I never thought about doing algorithmic trading. I've been hearing that, yeah, I don't trade with indicators, and you're patting yourself on the back because you're like, I don't need indicators. Okay, well, you're like me in Fortnite, where I was like, I thought I was doing okay till some guy comes in with a repeater, explosive rounds, and you're like, dude, this guy can hit me when he ain't hitting me. I want to be that guy. For me, I think it's wise to go, how do I adopt that and add that to what I'm already doing? How do I enhance what I'm currently doing by, you know what, that guy is beating me, okay? He's obviously better, air quotes, better. At the same time, what is better about it? Maybe he's not as good. If I gave him the same weapons as me, well, then maybe I'm still better than him. But if he has that edge, now we're using trading words, right? Now y'all like, okay, now I'm paying attention. I wasn't paying attention earlier. Okay. Advantage is edge. Now, oh, I've heard about trading edge. They talk about that. What's your edge? And everybody's like, I'm my edge. What? It's so dumb. Like the stuff you hear on Twitter. If you have half a brain, some of that stuff is so dumb. So what is edge? You are not your edge, folks. You can become your own edge if you get educated. Get that? That was pretty good, huh? Educated. But once you become educated, you need to find out what that advantage is. That guy that I was talking about in Fortnite, it was explosive rounds. The guy's shooting down, not even having to hit me. Now, if you ignore this, then you become poor this. Ignore, become poor. You hit me? Don't ignore, get better. Get rich, get better. Because the better you are at this game, the higher the points on the board. The higher the points on the board, the more money, right? That is an 11.4. Did we call that return earlier? Did I not say that that could be a very strong move? That was the turn, was it not? Did anybody else besides Algobox have that pivot there? I don't know. Somebody go find it on Twitter. Did anybody else have that beautiful play right there? I doubt it.
NQ on the 4.
That was a pretty good move there. 11.4. Again, going to be very cautious here. What's our time? 9:54. Do we have 10 a.m. news? Let's see.
Let me
refresh this chart. Oh, bots are up 1,700, flat and all. And they just came back. Oh, man, it came back down a little bit. All right, 1320 for the bots. While I'm over there gabbing away, one of my advantages, let me turn off full auto across the boards now. There should probably be news there at 10 a.m. Let's see. I don't see 10 a.m. Do you guys see 10 a.m. news? I don't see 10 a.m. news. I'm going to check financial juice. No 10. Their crude oil inventories is the next one at 10:30. Is that what you guys see as well? 10:30 is crude oil inventories, no 10 a.m., correct? Yeah, nothing high impact. Let's check that real-time protection real quick, make sure that is off. Yes, thank you, Eddie. Okay, so with those pieces of experience, so the windfall days, how did I come up to that? Well, that's one of those things where, like figuring out edge, is recognizing the pattern in the scenario. So I did need to write down that like big picture items that you need to lock in, things like after big red days come what potentially could be big green days, depending on how you come in and execute. And vice versa, the problem is when you have a big green day, you're so confident you can't wait to get into the next day, and that following day, I don't know what it is about the markets. It's like it's a combination of the way that volatility comes into the markets. But biggest win days followed by biggest lose days, and I saw that pattern, and I also saw it from other traders. So over time, I start to adopt those things. First, I might start with writing it down in a giant, by the way, in my books, I have them in giant writing, things that are super important. One that I still remember to this day because I like went crazy on drawing it was August is slow. And I remember I've got that on one of my pages. It's huge and big and bold. It's not on this one, or I'd show it to you. And that one is probably somewhere over there on my shelf somewhere. See that? I don't know if, can y'all see that stack of books back there? I don't think y'all can see it from here, but I'll take a picture of it and put it in Discord later today. And I'm going to find that page in there where it says August is slow. I drew that whole thing because I knew, like, I'm not going to remember that a month from now or 2 months from then, but I needed to know the following year, the next year, that as we come into August, that this August month thing was super slow. Now, ironically, later on, I found what I thought was a pattern was not, because I remember I'm all prepared one day and I'm like, I remember I said August is slow, here comes August, and ended up being like there was this wild August one time, and I'm like, well, while I may have mentally prepared that August movement and price action is slow, that's not always the case. That is not a hard line fact. You need to prepare yourself for that, but also literally when you're coming into the markets, you got to be prepared for anything. You got to be prepared for the guy who comes out of the sky and firing down explosive rounds that you weren't planning for, because that's a unique weapon to use. And maybe you're that guy. Now you become that guy. Find that edge and execute on it. So what did I ultimately end up building in AlgoBox here is something that can work in all environments, any scenarios, and at the same time, nothing is 100%. Nothing is 100% ever. We're looking at statistical odds of various play setups. That's an 11.4 up there. I'm almost going to take that every single time. Except, what's right there? What's that line? Somebody tell me in the line there. What is that? Yeah, you can't always predict the bull. You know what's interesting about predicting the bull? So me and my kids were watching some YouTube videos on the whole 8 seconds where people like watching guys. It was like biggest bull crashes in 2024. It was like a video like that. And so it's like all these like back-to-back reels of guys getting on bulls and just, you know, getting destroyed. But what you also notice when you're not watching ones that are just epic fail crashes, that some of the bulls, have you ever noticed like some of the bulls are a little more docile? And sometimes even the wildest bull would be like, oh, this one's called Death Adder. You know, that bull on any given day can come out and he's just kind of like, and the bull rider doesn't have nearly the opportunity, because I realize like there's a lot of luck in that game. There's a lot of luck in the bull riding, but they have to come out, and the bull rider needs to be mechanically skilled. Yes, mechanically skilled, where he should be able to adjust himself on the back of that bull. I want to say no matter what, because dude, some days I saw a bull like almost do a handstand. His legs kicked straight up so high, they were literally like, holy cow, it looked like Bessie just did a headstand with a 180, because it was like she headstanded and did a turn and came back down, almost landed on the man. It was like wild. Like there's no way, nothing you're going to prepare for some scenario where the bull does something that's like completely out of the ordinary, right? But that's the thing. They can do something completely out of the ordinary, and you have to survive. Well, that's what funny enough, literally the clown guys all around are to distract the bull to get it away so that the bull rider can get away safely and everybody try to, you know, live another day. I saw guys, I was like, hey, you know, a lot of these guys are wearing, you know, cowboy hats. And I'm like, but I see other guys wearing full-on face mask helmets and stuff. And all of a sudden, like, there's this clip of being like, why do bull riders wear face masks and helmets? And then you see a bull come out of the thing, and you don't realize, like, if they come out just kind of wrong, or actually, I guess right for the bull, but wrong for the dude on the back, I've seen dudes get slammed, their face is like, they do it in slow motion, and here's this guy getting smashed into the side wall before they even open the gate, and I'm like, okay, and that right there is why they wear a helmet, okay? And yeah, I mean, you're talking about, I was like, dude, imagine not having that helmet. And what about these guys who still go out there with cowboy hats? I don't think that's smart. Okay, you may look cool, but dude, it's only one moment where your life could be over. Watching some of these, I mean, heavy hits where their face goes right into the side of stuff and just absolutely getting crushed. I mean, there's got to be some massive injuries in that industry. That's so crazy dangerous bull riding. But reason I'm saying all that is markets same way. Any given day can be the end of your career if you don't have that insurance that we talked about 2 days ago before, of be careful the way that you play. For me, I like to have the whole 5 trades. I'm wanting to come into the markets planning for 5 trades. This is my risk on the table. And when I hit winner, winner, chicken dinner, hopefully it's the first 2, and then I can think about a bonus. This is it. This is the ideal right here. I want to hit 2 trades in a winner. This is the ideal. Is it always that way every day? No. You can come out some days, and that wild bull, she is wild. But you're only expected to ride that bull for 8 seconds. You get in the ring, you hit, you get paid, and you get out. You're not gonna live through it staying in the ring with a bull. And the same thing, I don't think you're gonna get the same thing coming into the markets, especially not as a new person. Okay, without your own guidance of rules. Like right now, I don't have to take plays. This line up here that I saw you guys, a bunch of y'all put in the Nopen line. That's right. Nope. Don't take trades around the open. So we call it the Nopen, right? The Nopen line. If you guys are getting something out of this, please smash that like button here real quick. Let's take a moment. Smash that like button. It's 10:03. We got 7 minutes till coffee time. We're right here at prior close. We got the open above us. We got the P point here. A lot of stuff. We're also back in the Big Bear area, the Beria, if you will, from yesterday. But where we go from here, don't know, don't have to care. All I'm looking for are plays. I want to come over here, get my identification of what direction we're currently at, take it inside or outside of the fiddle zone. If I'm inside the fiddle zone, this has to match. Real easy. If I'm outside the fiddle zone, I'm looking for a masher potential, right?
Enigma long on the GC2.
So we are near time, real time, ultra low latency here. There should be basically no delay on the conversations that we're having. Should be great for interactions. And for the folks who have been around a while, but you're coming into today, some people have said, oh, well, you know, there's a slight delay from YouTube to me, and it's significant enough for it to throw you off. Hopefully that's solved for a lot of people. Yeah, the bots are doing their work there.
NQ on the 4. NQ on the 4.
So, summarizing lessons of the day. Don't waste a lot of time writing down every single thing in your trade journal thinking that you're going to get better doing your trade journal. Look, I promise I didn't get better at Fortnite because, okay, oh, I made a note. There was a guy shooting explosive rocket missiles, but explosive rounds hitting me from the side, and they exploded upon me, and I took damage at writing all of the. Who cares? Like, you get it. Explosive rounds. Yeah, find out how to do that. Cool. Then practice it. Get to practice. The time that you spend wasting your nonsense life sitting there journaling that these turds on Twitter are going to tell you to do, nonsense. Waste of time. This is a video game now, folks. Investors, fine. If you're talking about investing, bro, go to town. You might need to take a lot of notes. You might need to, I don't know, man. You got to talk to a lot of people. Like long-term investment stuff, completely different from trading. We're trying to run a business. We want to buy and sell widgets, right? We're buying and selling widgets. We're buying it at a lower price, selling it at a higher price. That's it. Don't overcomplicate it, but also respect it. Have a healthy fear for it. If you're going to get in there, ride on the bull because you're going to get paid to ride the bull, you're getting paid for taking that danger. And the risk is, yeah, get your head smashed, right? It's a very dangerous game. Trading is risky. You are paid for taking that risk. Or You take that risk and it can go wrong. Do not take it for granted. All right, we got 2 minutes till 10:10. We'll have to. We're in between this area where, again, as of right now, me coming back from, I'm glad I kind of held back. At the same time, I kind of wish I had taken that shot earlier today where I was like, oh, okay, this could be the one. But it could have just continued on. It could have absolutely just kept on. We got other zones in here. When they're stacked right next to each other, I usually give this a swing. I'll give it a target 2 type of scenario. But, you know, that ended up being the big turn there after the double ready DD there. And there was a super AO there. And we went, it was a 1-2-3 banger, too. We had the 3-8, 3-7, bigger one than that, and the turn. Pretty huge. Carried us right back to around the open line, P point. This is a prior close. You know, all kinds of exchange of hands going on right here. We got now about 1 minute and 40 seconds to the coffee time. There's the color window right there, starting to turn the coffee color background. So, living through a windfall day here for me. Okay, we're playing up here into the open. I don't want to be taking any plays around here, so I'm gonna use that time we're gonna do a little more teaching and training here today. Y'all good with that? If you're having fun, type of 1, 2 if you're new, 3 if you're actually still here to troll me. Like, we do have some dedicated trolls. Let's do this. I'm gonna talk about the windfall scenario, because you're kind of like, well, why is he not taking any trades? So, windfall rules. I'm gonna call them SOPs, standard operating procedures. So windfall, and I'm gonna even bring in, we're gonna talk about lose fall. This is how we're going to adjust this, lose fall. So win or lose. So this is the concept behind this is back-to-backs, back-to-back days. One follows the other. Giant wins will be followed by giant losses in the norm. If you don't know, and the reason I'm saying this is not to go, this is the guarantee, it's absolutely going to happen. I'm trying to create this idea behind knowing this, right? I'm turning it into, what is it? The knowledge, and I want to turn it into wisdom. What's the application? So if I know this, that windfall days are followed by lose fall days and vice versa, then if I've hit a giant win day, then I have to be careful the next day because I don't want this, right? How do I avoid this? I don't want this, but I do want this. So if I have one of these, I've got to mentally prepare for this one the following day, and that is actually harder to do. When you have a giant loss day, how have you felt? And no, I'm not asking you to trade journal it. You don't have to write down your feelings like, okay, let me remind myself of how I felt this day. Dear diary, oh, today it felt so terrible. I couldn't even get out of bed, and then I did a roll out of bed and I wasn't even hungry. Didn't want to eat anything all day. All I could think about was this giant loss, and you know, all that. It's a waste of time. Sure, dwell on it that day. Be sad. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a biblical principle that even says that cry with those who cry, rejoice with those who rejoice. There is a time and a season for all things. But the next day, get up. Every day's a new day. Get to it. Mentally, the hardest thing though, I am telling you, this is not easy being like, oh, all you got to do is. No, this is hard. To get yourself from a lose day into knowing that the next day has a potential for a huge win day is so hard. This is very hard. Full acknowledgement, it is hard. But the way that you should do this is go backwards in market replay take the days that were hard days, and I would actually save those. Make a little folder and save hard days. You know what I'm saying by saving them? You can download that data or mark that date so that you can get that market replay data. So 15th of August 2025. Good. Save it. Go play it. But also, if you get the 15th, don't you also have to get the 16th? Yes or no? Somebody tell me, if the 15th was the super hard day, and I have a hard days folder, and I want to practice that hard day, but it is now a lose fall day, you want to separate hard days from lose fall days. Do you understand that? Because I've told you guys to save hard days when you're going through our training, to go and practice those hard days so that you get better at those. But hard versus literally lose fall, where it's like monstrous loss, put that in a separate type of folder. Because lose fall days are followed almost immediately by windfall days. And I think I spelled this wrong. It's not wind. It's windfall. Anyhow, sorry, but I think I end up spelling that way all the time because I don't know, just always done that. It's windfall, right? The win, and you have this massive win, right? And massive lose. You need to practice both of those days back to back to give yourself the confidence, because this comes to one of those things that helps the most is trading with confidence. This goes for probably anything in life, whether you're playing baseball, basketball, trading, gaming, whatever. Playing with confidence is completely different than playing timid and kind of like what they say, playing on your heels versus playing on your toes. In any sport, same applies. Trading with confidence. How do you gain that confidence? Is doing it over and over again. When you've done something so much, it becomes easy. I think I used the example the other day where I was talking about my son asking me, Daddy, is driving a car hard? Because it looks easy. I see you do it all the time. It looks pretty easy. But understanding all of the nuance and all the dangers of driving, and how if you're brand new to driving, you've never driven before, you don't know any of the rules of the road, don't know where the right pedal versus the left pedal is, any of that kind of stuff, it's hard. But once you have done it a lot, you know, am I really scared hopping in my truck today to go drive somewhere? No, you know, but when you're young and you're starting out, you know, first set of drives, everybody remembers their first drive, you're nervous, especially then you're like, okay, you're confident around driving in parking lots, you're comfortable driving around your neighborhood, then you know, like, oh, well, I got to get on the freeway. I remember, like, very much so being panicked the first time in driver's ed, being like, we're gonna go on the freeway, and I'm like, holy cow. In Texas, dude, the freeways are wild. I don't know where you're from, but in Texas, dude, getting on I-45 south between Tidwell and Parker, dude, it's wild. People are crazy on the roads here. Okay. And yeah, I don't know, I remember being very nervous about getting on the road when that was going on, but eventually you have done it so much that it's second nature. Okay, and trading is the same in that trading can become second nature to you, but at the same time, I mean, how many of you have never had a car wreck? Is there anybody in here who has never had a car wreck? I mean, I guess I'm assuming everybody here can drive. Okay, everybody's driven before, yes. Is there anybody who has never had a car wreck? Let me talk to that person first, because I want to talk. I'm like, okay, how often do you drive? I got a lot of questions for you. If you've never ever been in a fender bender, anything, like you've never bumped anything, you've never tapped somebody parking, you've never, I mean, the smallest stuff, because I get it. There's a lot of people who have not had any major car accidents, like me. I haven't had any majors either, but dude, we've all tapped somebody somewhere. Am I right? Yes, but I'm not that old. Okay, Alex, you've never been in a wreck at all? Never hit anything ever? Never had one, but someone tapped me before. That's what I mean. But see, that still counts. That still counts. Someone else hit you. That's what I was talking about the other day. I actually gave this example that most of the time, they're probably not even your fault, but someone hit you, right? It's not you, but the reason you have insurance is because of the other people around you too, right? Somebody came in and bumped you. But the fact that you're like, well, it wasn't my fault, so it doesn't count. No, it does. Because how are you not able to fully anticipate that they were there and see them and you move out of the way or be somewhere else, or like, you know, anyway, there's a whole list of things that you could technically do. But at the end of the day, I'm just gonna say, like, that's what insurance is for. Okay? That, yeah, I was gonna say you don't drive that much. Yeah, I was gonna say, like, and that can happen too. Especially me, dude, like, hardly ever drive because, I mean, we can push buttons and stuff comes to our house, right? And kind of thing. And so, you know, you drive less, you're not driving to a job every day, working from home. Like, you remove yourself from the risk because you're not in the driver's seat that often. Well, same thing with trading, right? They'll be like, well, I've never had a big loss in trading. I'm like, I bet you don't trade very often, do you?
NQ on the 4.
You know, trading less can be a strategy. But what we try to do is create something that kind of overrides that, and with a set of tools and a set of rules that are used as standard operating procedures, because we're talking about when standard ops. There are times when you need to push the pedal. Like, yes, the speed limit's there, but if some, you know, crazy is coming after you, you're probably going to break the speed limit to get away. Like, just logically, standard operating procedures are, yes, I need to do this, but in certain scenarios, or I need to rush my mom to the hospital, or some scenario where, like, you know, someone's not breathing or whatever, and you're in a car, something happens. Like, there are moments in time when you may need to speed, and it might be the proper thing that you might need to do. And we have hazard lights for this stuff, right? Drove professionally for a while, so I'm going to sit this one out. What does that even mean? So you've never had a wreck before? Are you saying you're so professional that you've never been in a wreck before? Is that what you're saying, Brian? I'm genuinely asking it.
Double delta NQ on the 4.
Saying the opposite? Okay, so professionally driving means like you've had a lot of wrecks, right? Yeah, the more you do it, the more there are going to be, right, accidents. I've been in so many wrecks, it's not funny. Okay, so there you go. And yeah, and saying it because, you know, you were, you know, driving professionally, kind of stuff like that. Yeah, and that's because you're in it more, right? And it's not surprising that the people who have never had wrecks, they're making my point is that, well, they don't drive very much, so they've never, you know, don't drive that much, so never been in a wreck. Okay, I can see that, right? People in New York, there's a lot of people in New York who never been in wrecks. You know why? Because they don't drive. They're like, well, I take the bus, or I take the subway, or, you know what I mean? So I drove a semi for 5 years. Yeah, the more you're on the roads, right? People are crazy, and the more miles you cover, the more opportunities that you have for situations and scenarios, right? So that comes with confidence, though, right? Like, you know that easy drives, like, you're just like, you don't stress out about getting in the vehicle because you're like, you've seen so much, right? You've driven so many times that you do that. Anyhow, back to the trading, the same deal. Once you have traded for a really long time, it becomes second nature, and you just kind of it becomes a flow. That makes sense? Doesn't mean you don't want to still use your edge and use your trading tools. Like, I mean, I'm never trading without AlgoBox, dude. Never am I ever trading without AlgoBox. Not happening. Oh, excuse me. Okay, so I am patting myself on the back for having not taken any trades yet today at all, and this does look like some stuff got pretty tricky in there. I mean, this looked like it was coming down, dive bombing, and this is what the market does. It'll do wild stuff like this, like, we're going down, okay, I'm just gonna look for a continuation, and next thing you know, it's like we're, you know, continuing to rip up sometimes. Okay, Mega Late Nate getting broken there. I'm hearing sellers on the tape. We hit moderate sell one more time. We're inside of the fiddle zone. We've got red arrow and red right now. I should only be looking for shorts. We are 9 minutes before 10:30 here, where coffee time would be over. Got my finger over the sell. Here's a structure.
Fib.NQ on the 4.
Okay, HMD. I'm going to go ahead and do my first position right here. Let's see if I'm going to get some continuation down here. We've got moderate sell. I've got red and red. This is an HMD with a ready right to the left of it. So I'm taking the next play after a ready DD. It says get ready, take the next play. Let's see if it's going to work out here for me. There's 10 ticks. Can I get a 20? I'm on the 4s here, so I'm looking for my target one on a 4 is 20 ticks. Yikes, there's a green cross right here. That could be telling me this might be the end of that. Okay, there's a delta shift. I'm going to add 2 positions, see if it's going to help me out here. There's 10, 16, I saw 17, and there's my targets filled. All right, one trade on the day. So let's clear this. Trade number 1, $1,953. Now let's add in the bots. The bots did their work there while I've been jabbing there this morning. Eddie, can you get the numbers on that? Also, the thumbnail from yesterday. Can you update the thumbnail from yesterday's? I updated the title last night, but if you get a moment, update that thumbnail for us for yesterday's. Same here. I've got a few things to take care of here today. Be back tomorrow. Those who are new with us, don't forget, real time. Now we've got ultra low latency, so if you've been in the past been like, well, I watch Vinny's videos later on, come to the live streams now, because this is now literally like a second's delay. Now we've got ultra low latency. This is going to help with communications, and when I'm making those trade calls, you don't have like I have seen in the past, it's been like 8 to sometimes 15 seconds delayed on the live streams from YouTube. We were doing high quality with 4K, and then we even went down to 2K. It was still, again, I saw it, yes, 8 to 15 seconds delay. I understand that can be tricky, especially because of our audio cues, and it can be confusing. So when you've got your play setups on your computer, and your computer is giving you audio sounds, and we're also doing audio sounds, remember, this is the beautiful thing about AlgoBox is you don't need me. You and your charts, all this stuff that's being drawn on the chart. Imagine someone who is experienced on your chart, showing you the play setups right there, talking through them. Well, your system's already doing that there for you. This is literally a virtual trading floor right there on your box. I teach you how I use the system. If you want to use it the way that I do it, I will show you how to combine certain things and why they have statistical edge. Things like multi-time frame, multi-structure, plus RTFA events at a location, giving you the potential opportunities that also minimize your risk by putting your stops behind a dot, box, cross, or triangle. Any of our shapes there. Pretty simple, straightforward. Make sure you get through our 8-day boot camp if you haven't done it already. Don't forget, we also are one of the only places that have a full 2-week free trial, completely unlocked, and we don't bother you in your emails other than sending you a, hey, welcome aboard. Here's how you get started. If you have any questions for us, come to one of our live streams. Head over to our Discord. We've got tech support in there as well. White glove service to get you all set up and installed. Yeah, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for hanging out. See ya.